Women's sport is surprisingly unique. After all, things can happen here that not even everyone can imagine. And I'm not exaggerating. Let's go.
You will never get into such a situation because I wish you good luck.
Wrestling, both male and female, is still extremely popular in Japan and America. Of course, all fights are staged, but nevertheless it requires a certain skill and good physical shape. However, sometimes the performance does not go according to the script, and some participants find themselves on the verge of a heart attack. A new sport has been gaining popularity in Germany for a long time. It is generally similar to table tennis, with a couple of important exceptions. It is played with a football ball, and all blows can only be struck with the head. But the Asians also distinguish themselves here. This girl manages not only to hit an ordinary ping pong ball with her head, but also to dance with obvious pleasure. The tennis player was so dissatisfied with the verdict of the judges that she decided to break the racket on the chair of one of them. This is what sports anger looks like. Table tennis is a less popular sport compared to its older brother, but it also has athletes who attract attention not only with their professional successes, but also with their bright appearance and ambiguous jokes. The volleyball player got a little distracted and received a ball in her face while receiving a pitch. Not the most pleasant situation. It is unlikely that we will ever find out why this strange blow was needed while standing knee-deep in water, but it looks like the girl overdid it after all. This performance can hardly be called a professional sport, although there are a lot of people who want to take a look at it. Adherents of underwater boxing claim that martial arts in the water develop coordination, balance, strength and stability, besides training in the water, reduces the load on the joints, and generally one solid benefit. However, the only question is how much the fighters will have enough breath. Czech athlete Eliška Slučanová decided to change clothes after the performance. The cameraman noticed this and pointed the camera directly at her. But the athlete did not like such attention at all. It is unlikely that we will ever find out why this girl became so depressed right in the middle of the match and disqualified herself by beating off the shuttlecock with her foot. Wrestling is a theater and by no means a sport. That is why it is not positioned as a real competition. The winner here is not the one who is faster or stronger, but the one who will do it beautifully and uniquely. The concept of beauty is of course very subjective, but the referee's participation in this fight, if it was in the script, was definitely a surprise for the audience.
I've got to become a referee. I have to renew my license.
When during a judo competition, the opponent suddenly starts undressing each other, it's not sporty, but still quite fun. After her brilliant performance, the athlete unbuttoned the Olympic jacket, but pretty quickly it dawned on her that there was nothing under her clothes, and she had to fasten it back. It is difficult to call this performance a professional duel, and it has little to do with sports. But it should be noted that there are plenty of viewers on such shows, and the girls earn more than well. The tennis player's serve was so powerful that the strap of her t-shirt came off from the shock wave. A little more and it would be completely embarrassing. The very moment when the operator focuses not at all on what he should. It's even kind of awkward. During one of the matches, Caroline Wozniacki's hair got tangled in her racket, but the ball was still in play, and Wozniacki still tried to strike. As the girl herself commented later, she almost pulled off her scalp, but of course she missed. The tennis player laughingly lowered the racket that hung on her hair, but after a few minutes, having solved the problem, Caroline defeated her opponent with a score of 6-3 and 6-4. After the victory, the athletes staged a rather funny celebration with incendiary dances, and there really is a reason for joy. Softball is more popular among non-professionals because unlike baseball, this sport is adapted for less physically prepared people and is not so traumatic. But ingenuity and dexterity are needed in any sport, and it is not always worth using force, especially if you can outwit an opponent. Instead of going to change clothes in the locker room, the tennis player decided to do it right on the court. I think for some viewers this trip to the match was the most memorable. And this is not surprising. While the teams are competing, some of the rivals are figuring things out in a way that is not the most usual for a basketball court. A curious approach to discouraging the enemy. Thank you so much for watching. Leave your like and write in the comments which video you liked the most. See you soon. Peace.